Hello everyone and welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. My name is Stefan. Thank you for coming to the channel. Well, we haven't been to this aquarium in a minute. It's my 20-gallon Oase Cinescaper, a kit that I've talked about and praised effusively in past videos. But I had given this a pretty serious cleaning a few days ago, and I wanted to capture it for you in its near probably the best state this tank can be in. It's at that point a few days after you garden when the new growth is starting to erupt, but yet it hasn't obliterated some of the real estate for the fish. The carpet's in good shape. There's a minimum of algae. You can see all the plants and a bit of the geometry to my aquascape, albeit obstructed by plant growth, but the plant growth has been choreographed, if you will, to accommodate the new reality of this tank. In other words, the hardscape has become less and less important and the plants more and more important. Not that plants are ever not important, but in the beginning, we focus on rock and wood sometimes, and it never fails. The plants will always overtake those structures if you plant them. If you plant them, they will come, especially if you take care of them like I know we do. And then it becomes more like a garden, a water garden. So in many ways, this is a garden in a box of glass filled with water, and I couldn't be happier. There's way more fish than the camera is going to pick up, or even my eyes can pick up. It's unbelievable how many fish are in this tank, and yet I don't ever see them all at the same time. If it were on paper, you'd say this tank is overstocked, but in looking at it, that never seems to be the case. I wanted to talk about a couple things. I've managed to sort of corral the Hygrophila pinnifatata, this beautiful stem slash epiphyte. You see how the epiphyte, in other words, the rhizome-like growth, has attached itself, and there is a piece of dragonstone under there, but now it's really well entangled by the Hygrophila P. And yet here's how the stem variety looks as the stem is down into the substrate, and the rest probably from ancient grow-offs from that one stem or another one of its siblings attached to the rock, and well, the rest is history, and I'm really happy now. It had been a little too intense in this tank. It was obscuring the background and encroaching the front, and now that plant is manageable on both sides of the aquarium. In many ways, the two fronds are like palm trees in front of a house in Southern California, right? One on each side of the driveway, boom and boom. Cryptocorn here, these crypts showing beautiful healthy leaves and multiple color variations, and I'm very pleased. The carpet, while it is as much sage and hemon and another, what's the other plant? Another sort of veil-like short grassy plant. Those two plants were never the primary. The primary was always dwarf hairgrass, but that has become literally secondary, if not even further down the pecking order. But it's all good because there's a minimum of algae and it looks beautiful, especially from a couple feet away, right? And it makes way more sense to go with what's working, adjust the scape as the scape adjusts to you, and that's what I've done here. So I'm very pleased. One of the things I do have to do, and I've talked about it, is pull out some of this Christmas moss that does make its way. Little tendrils will fall into here from where you may have planted them a long time ago, perhaps on driftwood or rock, and they grow super well in this condition. And I do have to go in there with my tweezers and just pull it out. It's kind of satisfying, actually, like pulling, like cleaning your teeth or something. It comes right out with the proper tool, and it's kind of fun to do that. And if you were collecting moss, it's a great way to get healthy moss too. Here, the Lemonphilia sessiflora, that's the stem. I call it the Dr. Seuss plant because it looks like one of his drawings. This is growing an inch a day, no lie. I mean, I had cut these down to the quick just a few days ago, and they're already reaching for the sky, but that's okay because trimming them is super easy. They're all in the back there, and you can see all their tops, very healthy, no algae. Pogostem and octopus, I took a ton of this plant out. I actually brought all the tops to a local fish shop in my area here, and they gave me a nice store credit for it, so that was terrific. And then the atra, the Rotala atra, look at the tops all getting nice and red and yellow and orange. I had cut that to the quick, and it looked, if you go to the previous video of this tank, it looked kind of shitty, but now everything is coming into its own, and I'm delighted. I should, before I move on to another topic, point out a few other plants. I've got Bucephalandra in there. That's that sort of beautiful purple stem. I think that's the Kadang variety. Hydrocolte tripolate, I call it Japanese clover. There's some there, right? What a wonderful dainty plant, but very hardy once it gets a foothold. You can see it really crawls in and out and everywhere. I have the most success by starting a portion of it in the actual substrate and then feeding it through the hardscape. That's one of the few plants where you can literally train it to do all sorts of things. You could put it around even other plants, and it's so dainty it won't suffocate them or hurt them. What else can I say? The livestock in here, I've got pencilfish, green neons, rosy tetras, and obviously you can see the beautiful longfin albino coreodoras. There are various other species in here as well. There's a pencilfish, there's the green neons in the back, there's a rosy tetra. Now there's schools of all of these, but you're only seeing a few right now. Now that'll change. You know, as soon as I put the camera down, everybody will come out, especially if I feed. But for the time being, I've got crystal clear water, great parameters, beautiful plant growth, minimum of algae. Couldn't be happier. If you have any questions or want to know how I get these results in more specific terms, by all means, just shout out. And I adore your support. I'm getting on near 1,000 followers, so what a thrill that is. And with that being said, let me just wish you all a wonderful beginning of summer here in the United States. I know I've got a lot of people watching overseas where it's actually winter. And by overseas, I mean Australia and New Zealand, not Europe. So welcome, and I hope that season is good for you. I'm glad to be out of winter, you know, given I live in Chicago. It's funny, even though there's no windows in this fish room of mine, and really no sense of the weather outside in here, I do get better plant growth. It's almost as if the plants know it's spring by osmosis somehow, by magic. In any event, thank you for watching. Ciao for now.